Muito boa tarde. Good afternoon to everybody. Senhor Ministro das Comunicações, Inovação e Economia Digital da Nigéria, Senhora Secretária-Geral da União Internacional de Telecomunicações, Senhora Presidente do Conselho de Administração da ANACOM, estimados membros do Comitê Consultivo para a Segurança dos Cabos Submarinos, minhas senhoras e meus senhores, bem-vindos ao Porto. Welcome to Porto. Unfortunately, the Minister for Infrastructure cannot be with us this afternoon because, as you might know, we are recovering from a terrible storm which destroyed a significant part of villages and cities at the center of the country. So the entire government is working day and night to recover infrastructures, to bring people to their normal lives, and so the Minister has a perfectly good reason for not being with us today. And my thoughts now, they are with the victims and the families who suffered from this terrible storm. As we meet here for the second International Cable Resilience Summit, I'd like to start by acknowledging last year's Abuja Summit, wonderfully led by Minister Tijani, and we are very honored to have you here with us today. And in fact, what a journey from Abuja to Oporto. Like Professor Sandra Maximiano said, Portugal stands in a privileged geographic position for the mooring of submarine cables. But if you look back 5 centuries ago, we started to build a kind of a global network, not by laying cables, but by establishing contacts, relations, cooperation with countries and people in different parts of the world. Actually, 5 centuries ago, we started what people refer to as the first globalization. And we did so in a very peculiar manner, because we agreed with Spain to split the world in two by the Treaty of Tordesillas, with the blessing of the Pope, I have to say. So we were taking off one half, we were taking care of one half, and Spain taking care of the other half. The world no longer works like this. So we need to bring everybody on board. And there is not a single nation that can address alone the challenges that we are facing and the challenges that we need to address. Professor Maximiano also said that the first submarine cable was established between Portugal and the UK back in 1870. And I might have an explanation for that, because the British, they were already here in Oporto, trading in port wine, and they needed to have a very fast and good connection with the UK to trade on wine. Wine moves mountains, as you know. So that's why probably we are the first submarine cable laid between the UK and Portugal. But actually, I would like also to acknowledge and to thank all the work of Professor Sandra Maximiano as one of the co-chairs of this international advisory body. And I think this is a very clear demonstration that you can count on Portugal to continue to push forward this debate. A debate that comes from the fact that we are all connected, that it comes from the fact that we need to cooperate, that comes from the fact that only if we are connected and if we cooperate, the world will work much better. But we need also to bridge the digital divide. And that digital divide has an impact on countries, on societies. The digital divide brings inequality, and it has an impact, a negative impact, on social and economic development, but also on stability and security. And as we advocate for greater attention to this nexus between technology and security, I think we need also to address and to think in another dimension, which is the role of technology to promote peace. We wanted to connect and to communicate. We want to foster economic development, but we want also to bring our countries closer, working in the benefit of peace. This is why Portugal, as part of our 2030 development cooperation strategy, which prioritizes digital transformation for inclusive and sustainable development, we proudly host the UN, United Nations, Portugal Digital Fellowships. This initiative, directed at high-level officials from developing countries, aims at contributing to capacity-building efforts to harness digital innovation for inclusive growth. And the third edition will take place now between the 13th and the 17th of April. Dear guests, excellencies, your work here in the next 2 days will be a fundamental contribution to bring best practices, to share best practices, best standards, and best policies. And your work is essential, not only because we want to remain connected, but also because we want to promote peace and because there is only one world. I wish you very good work. Thank you.